To be honest, when I first saw the trailer for Alita Battle Angel, I thought the movie was going to be extremely bad because of the design of Alita's eyes. I thought the size of the eyes were absurd and would make it impossible to get sucked into the movie. Despite this, I went to go see it as I wanted to support Robert Rodriguez because I really enjoy watching his films. I was surprised to see that the eyes weren't really that distracting and were actually pretty endearing. Not only is her head CGI, but her entire body is as well. This is done to be more in line with the original design of the character and to make her body not look so different from her head. Her design is one of the better aspects of the movie. It also perfectly visualizes her growth as a character from the beginning to the end of the film, which is great considering the themes of Alita. The film story follows the cyborg Alita, who's found in a scrapyard with absolutely no memory of anything. Throughout the movie, she grows and learns of her past and chooses a path for her future, which is mirrored by her design and the change of it throughout the movie. Her character, at least for me, is the best aspect of the movie. She's both charming and pretty badass. It's like watching a doll spout 80s one-liners. I like how the writers weren't afraid to make Alita do things that some heroes from this era would never do. The actress who plays Alita was surprisingly good. She gave the special effects artist a really good performance to work with. Not only is the design of Alita great, but so is Iron Cities and the city above it. It's a perfect visual metaphor for its world and class dynamic, as a better life for the people of Iron City is just above them, yet so out of reach. I wasn't surprised to find out that they made a set for Iron City, and it wasn't just entirely CGI, as it looked too good to be fake. The supporting actors range from good to bordering on bad. Christoph Waltz gives a surprisingly out-of-character performance by not giving his usual Hans Landa performance, which isn't bad, but he's just kinda okay here. The best supporting actor here by far is Mahershala Ali, who's always great in every movie he's in. He has this air of superiority that just exudes from every one of his gestures and lines. The changes to his overall demeanor and acting when possessed is pretty impressive. With the exception of some side characters, the worst acting comes from Alita's love interest, who isn't terrible, but seems that way when paired with better actors. Many emotional moments are kinda ruined by him. I've always enjoyed the action scenes from this director, but this is the first time that I would describe his action as thrilling. Not only are the action set pieces extremely well put together, but they actually have tension and stakes to them. The film at times makes you actually believe that the lead has a chance to die. I love how far Alita pushes his PG-13 rating, as people's faces get chopped off and bodies get torn apart, which is just refreshing to see from a huge movie. The motorball scene is one of my favorites of the year, due to the action and how interesting it looks and feels. This is actually one of the few times that I thought a fictional sport looked interesting and realistic, in the context of the movie that is. It looks like there was an insane amount of thought put into how the track looked, as it seems to be made for maximum carnage. I like how the track at times pushes the players together to ensure there's some type of action going on. The worst thing about this film is the terribly cheesy and uninventive dialogue, and I'm not talking about the cheesy dialogue that Alita says, as it makes sense to come from her and is kinda endearing. I'm talking about when it comes from some of the lesser actors who can't really elevate the material. The movie is also pretty predictable. A lot of the twists are insanely obvious, and I can't imagine them surprising anyone. You can also tell how the film is gonna end early on. I also never really felt the emotional stakes of the film's ending due to the predictability of it and the somewhat less than stellar acting in it. Some of the special effects aren't really that convincing. The special effects in the flashback scenes and some of the backgrounds don't look that good. The same could be said for some of the villain designs. The constant sequel building can also be annoying, especially that cliffhanger ending. Granted, at times, it makes the world feel like it has a history, but it just feels like advertising most of the time. I would recommend Alita Battle Angel to anyone interested in watching a cheesy and fun action movie that has great fight scenes.